Welcome to this training video. In this training video, I will provide introduction to mobile application development. I will discuss Android application development primarily, and it will actually be very preliminary concept. I will provide very preliminary concepts, and I will demonstrate by showing a very simple, I would say empty mobile Android application. Anyway, this is Said Ahmed. I provide software development and web development consultancy under Just Etc. Technologies. I also provide consultancy in software engineering and software architecture. So this is my company website, justetc.net. You can see my personal profile at site.justetc.net. You can also reach me at site@justetc.net. Anyway, this is our address in Bangladesh. Just Etc. Technologies is primarily a Canadian company. So, mobile application types. I would say you can consider two types: native applications and web-based applications. Native applications, these are installed in your mobile device. You can just click them and run them. I think it's very similar to desktop application. The way desktop applications are installed on your desktop computer, mobile applications are installed on your mobile device. You can just run and it runs within your mobile device. Another approach is web-based application. I think one concept is pure web-based. I think it will be some URL-based application. There will be some URL address and the users have to go to that URL to access and use that application. It's basically a web application, but it targeted some mobile device. So I think whenever the application is designed or implemented, it presents itself in such a way so that they look appropriate in different or targeted mobile devices. You can target just one particular device, or you can target multiple device so that they look almost appropriate in the targeted devices that you want to support. So as I have told, your visitors have to use some URL to access this web application. Another approach is okay, one thing these web-based applications, the developers can use the web technologies to create the application. They may have some limitations to use the device features. So yeah, there may have some limitations, and there may have some libraries available to take advantage of those. And another approach is web-based applications. I think you can implement some sort of web-based application using web technologies for targeting mobile device, but afterwards you can use different tools to convert these web-based applications into native applications, and they can be then installed into the mobile devices. I think there are many different platforms or tools for this purpose, and the good thing is you also get many different tools or libraries to take advantage of the particular mobile device you're targeting for. Another approach is in these tools you can actually write one application and target many different platforms. You can compile them for different platforms. I think there will be some variations and some different approaches. Whatever I told, it's just very general. There can have some exceptions and specifications. You need to be aware of those. Anyway, okay, tools for multi-platform development. I have mentioned some tools here. These are basically for web-based applications converted to native applications. For this purpose, you can use web technologies to develop web-based application or mobile application, and these they can be converted to the target platform native application, something like that. So you can see you can implement applications for this platform, and you can use the Ruby for the purpose. PhoneGap, you can target Android, Palm, Symbian, BlackBerry, iPhone, iTouch, iPad. You can write applications using HTML and JavaScript. So you can just take a look there. And in near future, I plan to create some training videos on PhoneGap. Okay, for Android application development, I'm actually talking about native application development here, but later I will be showing how we can use PhoneGap to implement uh, Android application. And another note here is, if you use PhoneGap to implement Android application, you will be requiring Android as SDK for sure. So anyway, for Android application, you can use IDE and tools, ADT bundle or Android Studio, two different tools. ADT bundle, actually ADT bundle, it just comes as an integrated package with all the required tools. You can directly use it to develop your application. It comes with Eclipse IDE and ADT plugin, and it comes with Android SDK tools. I think it's a set of different APIs, I think, to take advantage of different Android features, Android device features, Android platform tools for developing applications for Android platforms. I think deployment, testing, debugging, all those things are integrated into this ADT bundle tool. Android platform is also there, and Android system image is also there, and the emulator is also there. Okay, one approach is, if you already have the Eclipse on your system, you can just plug in, you can just download ADT plugin and use your existing Eclipse to develop the Android applications. ADT bundle, some features: full Java IDE, graphical user interface builders. You can build graphical mobile application interface using some user interface builders such as some drag and drop. And on device developer options, develop on hardware devices and develop on virtual devices. You can develop on real Android devices, you can develop on virtual devices, just emulators. And ADT bundle also comes with powerful debugging features and testing applications and adaptive development features. And another tool is Android Studio. It's actually IntelliJ based. I think it's a Java IDE IntelliJ based. And Android Studio, the IntelliJ comes with Community Edition and Enterprise Edition. Community Edition is free, so Android Studio, Android development can be done in both versions. You can see some features, Android Studio features here, just like template-based wizards to create common Android designs, and a rich layout for drag and drop UI components, preview layouts, and multiple screen configurations. And you have tools for usability, version compatibility, to address other problems. So you can see all the features here, and you can see more features listed here. You can just take a look. Ensures compatibility with the latest Android SDK. Offers a smart code editor with completion, code completion features. That's what it's telling. With navigation between code and resources. You also get it in Eclipse editor as well. Graphical debugger, unit testing support. So you are getting debugger tools, unit testing tool using Android testing frameworks. And also you can run applications emulator or USB connected device. You'll be getting the similar thing in Eclipse ADT bundle as well. So, but if you're already using IntelliJ, so it's an option that you can use your existing knowledge and experience and build Android applications. So if you do not use Eclipse ADT bundle, you may need to use different tools for Android development. So you have to download all these tools from Android website. Think developer.android.com, you will be getting all those things. And this tool is for creating and updating projects and creating and moving and deleting Android virtual devices. This tool will help in that. Emulator, you can see that using this tool you can run your Android application on an emulated Android platform. An Android debug please interface with your emulator or connected device. It will be providing the interface between emulator and connected device to your application. just like install applications, share the device, issue commands, all those things. Some other tools, and it's just an auto, I think the debugging, so not debugging, I would say building and deployment procedure for automating, and also pointing to the right resource files, library files. You can do this. You can also use Maven tool, key tool. I think you can use generate private key using this tool, and jar signer. You can sign your application with the private key generated by key tool. What is the application development process? It's pretty similar. I think if you're a developer, just by taking a very superficial look at it, you'll understand what are these steps. Setup, as you have told, you will need appropriate tools and install in your system so that you can develop. We're just telling you need the Android SDK tools, just the API libraries to take advantage of Android device features, Android development tools. I think the IDEs and the command line tools if you need, Android platforms, and you need to use Android virtual devices tools for it, and set up the tools, and also you have to create those things. And if you use hardware devices, then you need to connect. Your environment is ready, and you have to develop that application. You have to use some source code, some resource file, menus, layouts, and all those things. Some configuration files like manifest file, you have to configure it there. Debugging and testing. So initially you can build and run your application in debug mode. You can debug and fix the issues with your application here. And you can also take advantage of the logging tool to log the different error or warning information in the file, and later you can check that file and tell you about what needs to be fixed. And you can test your application using the Android testing and instrumentation framework. And then you have to publish. You have to build your application in release mode. You have to configure your application, and then you have to publicize your application, set and distribute your application to users. Now, how to create an application? So this interface, I'll be showing some screenshots from Eclipse ADT bundle. I think how to create an empty application. So you can see in Eclipse ADT, file, new, Android application project. This is how you will start. And in the next string, you have to give application name, project name, package name here, and minimum required SDK. I think the SDK you want to support, I think you can see you need to select the version of the SDK. The earlier version you select, probably you will be supporting the wider market, but you may not be able to use the latest features. So we have to do some sort of trade-off. If you use API 8, so you will be supporting 95% of Android market. I think this is a good point to start. So if you go through next, you have to select the activity. We're just selecting some blank activity. It's just empty application. So after the project creation is done, you will be seeing all these folders. The source files for your application, generated output files is here, all the libraries, platforms, resource files, all the layouts, menus, all those things. Some configuration files are here. Okay, and I think you also have to define some sort of Android virtual device if you want to run your application in emulated device. So you need to define some virtual device. You can do that going through window, menu, and then Android virtual device manager. So you will be shown such interface. You can create a new, and in a new window you have to define some parameters, and after you save it, and you will be seeing some sort of Android virtual device here, and this will be used when you will run your application. Okay. I think the previous one was about if you want to run your application in an Android virtual device, then you have to define some sort of Android virtual device. But if you want to run and debug your application in real Android device, then you have to follow this following step. You have to connect your Android device through a USB port, and you have to install USB driver depending on the operating system and your Android device. And then you have to enable debugging mode in your device, and you can see that if you have Android operating system 3.2 or older, you need to use this to enable USB debugging, and if you are using Android 4.0 later operating system, then you have to use settings developer options to enable debugging. Now how to run the application? I think it is the same for emulated device, virtual device, and the real device. You can click on this icon on the toolbar, and then you can select run as Android application. For another approaches, you can just select your project and right click on it, and then you can see run as and then Android application, and your application will run. And for an empty application thing, if you did not configure anything, then it will be coming up like this. But if you have the application written appropriately, then you can see your application here. Okay, some stuff to note if you want to. I think when you will be installing ADT bundle, you have to make sure that if the ADT bundle is using 32-bit, then you have to use Java 32-bit. But if you are using ADT bundle of 64-bit, you also need Java 64-bit, and you also need to add the path to java w.exe to the path environment variable. So I think after a little while, I will be showing you. I will open the Eclipse ADT bundle, and I will be just showing this basic application creation process, the project creation process and running process. So before that, I will be showing you some references. If you go to developer.android.com, here you will find most of the stuff that I told here, and all the tools and SDKs, ADT bundle, everything will be there. And if you want to download Java, you can go to this URL. You will be able to download both 32-bit and 64-bit Java, and all the multi-platform thing, all the tools I have talked about to develop multi-platform mobile application. You can go to this link and you can read more about them. Okay, that's all right now, but I will be showing the Eclipse platform. I think I will be opening it. I'll just pause it and open it, and then come back to this training video again. So I'm just eclipse.exe. Let's see all the files here to create new project. Android application project. You can see it. So you can select the options here. Next. Blank activity here. Okay, window, Android Virtual Manager, new. You have to be careful about the memory options, how much you provide. Run this application, Android application. I think there are some configuration issues somewhere. I want to stop here. So have a good day. This is all for now. I'll come back again with advanced features of Android application development, and I'll also come back with the phone gap application later sometimes. Anyway, have fun. Thanks.